folks. Welcome to an all-new So Bad It's Good. This is your pal Ryan, and this is your Friday episode. We did it. We made it through another week, 5 days of potential torture, but we are at the end of another work week. We're doing a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. Yeah, it was another episode. We're going to get into it. I'm not feeling this season. There are a lot of things that I like little moments, and, there's certain elements of a Jennifer Tilly I like. I think Rachel Zoe is crushing it, but I do think there is, and we do this a lot in our lives, is that we get comfortable. And I think the show has gotten comfortable in a lot of ways. I think there are a lot of cast members in this, even though we love them, might be past their expiration date. There's a lot of comfortable. And comfortable is good. Comfortable is good. I mean, we can escape with comfortable, but I believe that this show can be better. But we're still going to have a good time today. How are you guys doing? Are you okay? Man, it was another crazy day. And also, make sure you're subscribed because we got the Southern Charm recap coming out. We got the Traders recap coming out. And my Patreon, I was sick earlier this week, so you are getting, I think, triple Patreon this weekend. So there's a lot of stuff. My weekend is kind of like my work week, but listen, I'm just talking about shows. This isn't rocket science. So we're going to have a good time this weekend as well. So make sure if you need something, come to So Bad It's Good. We just got back a little bit ago. We had a Chump Mixer, which is part of the Jeff Lewis live show. I think I told you about this the other day. They do this every couple months where there's everybody gets together for drinks. And I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it, but they are shooting the reality show right now, Still Flipping Out, which should be on Bravo at some point in 2026. And it was a very interesting night. We left early. Rebecca came with me, which was awesome. It was so exciting. She, she's 7 months pregnant at this point, and she came out for a couple of hours. I'm sure filming is still going on right now, but it's wild, and it's very interesting to see how all of this is put together, or to see how they shoot these things, because it's the same production company that does Beverly Hills and OC and The Valley Persian Style, which also had a new episode tonight. I hope everybody checked it out. And if you didn't, make sure you watch it this weekend on Peacock. Man, I'm like a one-man advertisement for Bravo. It's sad. I can admit that. But it's really interesting, and it's fun to watch it from a distance. I don't love to be in it. There's no part of me that wants to be a character on the show, but it is important for even the work I do. It helps me understand things a little bit better. And I feel like I'm getting closer to understanding the process of reality television a little better. It definitely is real. But when you put a camera on somebody, there is an elevated reel. There's an elevated reel. And I think also, to my point, what I was just talking about people that have been on Beverly Hills for so long, or even what Heather Gay said at the reunion in terms of the Below Deck being filmed at the same time as Salt Lake, is that they don't even realize the cameras are there any longer. And that's great, but it also, I don't know, it's interesting. It's interesting. Basically, I'm saying let go of Kyle Richards. Kyle Richards got to go. And Kyle Richards is not even a big factor in tonight's episode. But I do see that I feel like things have gotten so stagnant that we're just accepting okay. We're just accepting beautiful vistas. Because, by the way, how much more beautiful can you get than Sedona? I was like, oh my God, is this like a Western? This looks beautiful. Jennifer Tilly panting as she hiked up a hill in turquoise cowboy boots. That's great. It's amazing. But when they get into actual conversations with each other, I barely believe the stakes at all. Now, Amanda Frances, she's okay. I mean, she's annoying as hell, but she's okay because all of the other ladies have a common enemy. They all can decide that, oh, we don't like that lady Amanda Frances. And by the way, yeah, they have good reason not to. She seems, from what we've seen in the edit, pretty flippin' annoying. Really annoying. So those are just some thoughts off the top of my head, but we'll get into it. We're not going to do a line-by-line recap, but we'll go over. I took notes earlier today. I've watched this episode twice. Also, Traders. I can't wait to recap that this weekend. Lisa Rinna, what a monster. What an evil monster. And I say that as a compliment. You know, get her off Beverly Hills, get her on the Traitors. But that kind of evil is perfect for the Traitors. But I don't know. So it's hard, especially when you have this cast of ladies. You don't necessarily buy into their friendship because we've seen them interact for so long that you don't really like. Dorit, Kyle's not your friend. I'm sorry. I mean, she's your work friend, but she's not your friend. So the sooner that you can accept that, and that's why Dorit gets along better with the newer cast members, because those still have possibility of actually building a real friendship. The Kyle thing's, that's gone. Wave goodbye. That's a boat in the harbor sailing away. No, Kyle believes PK more than she will ever believe you. And I got to tell you, I don't believe, I believe less in PK than Kyle does. But Kyle, and isn't it weird that like PK is like the one thing holding, I mean, also their kids, the one thing holding Kyle and Mauricio together is that they're able to still have FaceTime calls, but it's about PK and Dorit. It's like a weird little kink that they have of like, hey, love bean, talk to me about PK and Dorit. Yeah, that's how I like it. I'm going to go now make out with some girl on the street and get paparazzi. Yeah, all right. I'll talk to you later. It really seems to be an amicable separation. A really well done separation thus far. But think about it. Somebody sent me this today in regards to Potomac. Is that, think about Giselle. Giselle has been there since day one, but think about the last year to 2 years of her life, right? Her father passed away. Her girls went to college. Her ex-husband, the lordly man, with a new woman. There are so many things in Giselle's life, yet Giselle doesn't have to answer truly anything personal. She's able to just put a spotlight on other people's stories. I mean, that's comfort. That's called tenure. That's called being at a bank for 50 years so they let you have the good shifts. And I got to tell you, I find it kind of annoying. I feel like with reality shows, you got to earn your keep every year. I mean, you might be able to take 1 year off. Like, listen, I was okay with Shannon Bedore having an easier year last season, even though Tamra called her out every flipping chance she could get, which, by the way, Shannon Bedore was there tonight. Also Kelly Dodd was there tonight. Interesting night. But it is interesting, the seniority of reality television. And Kyle literally just admitted to being in love with a lady a couple of episodes ago. That storyline's dropped. It's done. It's donezo. It's goodbye. Kyle had to do 2 scenes about it, and it's done. Let's get back to Sutton. That's wild. And sometimes I don't necessarily want to keep giving respect to people just because they've had more years there. Does that make sense? Am I being cruel? I hope I'm not being too cruel. I just see it in a different way. And if legitimately nothing was happening in these ladies' lives, I would understand that. But I know tons of things is happening in Kyle's life. Things are happening in Giselle's life. Things are happening in Heather Gay's life. Why do they escape the camera lens? Why do they get to put the spotlight on somebody else and make it intense for them, and they don't have to face the same reality camera lens? They get a soft edit. They get a kind camera lens. That part I just don't understand. And so I feel like Beverly Hills needs to be shaken up. At this point, Erica Jane is just there to say a couple snarky comments in a talking head. She'll have a fabulous outfit. She'll sip a Coke out of a straw, and she'll listen to Kyle bitch about whatever Dorit's doing to her that week. And for one episode, she'll say that she might have found a guy, but that she doesn't want to talk about it past this point. I mean, at least with Sutton, sometimes at this point, it's not the most dynamic, but I do think there is something interesting in her talking about, I've never felt accepted by this group until now. I've never felt accepted. I feel it's interesting. Like, we've been chipping away at Sutton having this deep insecurity, and it comes out as mean. it comes out as her being very mean to other cast members. But now we finally chipped away at it, that it's feeling of failure after her marriage. I mean, she's not even Sutton Strack anymore. She's Sutton Brown. I don't know. It's just a weird mixed bag. Like, Kathy Hilton does make me laugh. I could watch Kathy Hilton with little eye patches under her eyes scrolling on her phone like we all do at night. I could watch that for hours. I mean, that's soothing to me. That's meditation to me. Watching Kathy laugh like, oh, I'm laughing at a TikTok. Oh, that's more exciting than half of this show. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I know I'm just starting you guys off so negative, but I hope you're there with me. And yes, I'm a grown man that has watched this show way too many times and takes it way too serious. But by God, this is Shakespeare, folks. Shakespeare. Did you hear Harry Styles announced his new album today? Yeah, he has a new album coming out in March, you guys. And I'm sure we'll talk more about this on the Pop Culture Roundup on Monday. But I thought this was great. I think the world needs a new Harry Styles album now. And this album, you guys, this is a great name for an album. It is called, I just had this pulled up. His new album is called Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. His first new album in 4 years. So the album title, once again, is Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. Listen, I mean, I'm confused, but I love it. I love it. And then recently, this past week, it was just announced that he's going to do another residency at Madison Square Garden. Now, he did a residency at Madison Square Garden, 4 years ago. He did 15 nights in a row at MSG in New York. And he has another residency. They have not announced the dates or how many dates he's doing, but you know this guy's going to try to beat his 15 dates. So I'm predicting like 20 dates at MSG. That is what I'm predicting. Okay, back to Beverly Hills. Also, real quickly before we start the recap, I did want to mention this. I got a DM today. I don't really get to see a lot of my DMs, but I saw this one, and they're Patreon members, and I've done some cameos for them. But I wanted to say a quick hello to Sam. And Sam, she lost her dog Remy last night, and I know how hard that is. And I just wanted to say, Sam, we are all thinking about you. We are thinking of Remy, and hopefully the Rainbow Bridge is laid there, right there for Remy. And I just wanted to say that we are all thinking about you. And I'm about to do a horrible recap in Remy's honor for you, Sam. Okay, I hope you got to hear this, because if you didn't, then it really brought down the mood of the whole show. No, anyways, we're thinking about you. And also, since this, I swear to God, this is the last serious thing that I will say, but there was a Page Six article today, and it was involving Beverly Hills alum Teddy Mellencamp. Now, John Mellencamp, or John Cougar Mellencamp, as I know him to be, he just announced a new tour where he is going to be playing all of his hits. But he went on a little podcast. I've never heard of this, the Joe Rogan Experience. I'm not sure what that is. No, but he talked about his daughter Teddy on the Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan doesn't know Housewives, but he did talk about his daughter Teddy. And he said, in regards to her being really sick, and he said, it's not fucking fun. She's got cancer in the brain and she's suffering right now. And he said, the kid used to call me up and I'd go, Teddy, you can have a thought without asking me. If it's, figure it out yourself. You don't have to ask me everything, And he said, girls at about 12, you lose them. And then at about 21, they come back. And he said, I kind of lost mine. But it was something that I had been thinking about, because I know Teddy Mellencamp has not been on 2 T's in a Pod recently. And I know, Tamara has been able to keep that going, and Dolores and a lot of other people are helping out. Now, Teddy was at BravoCon and had a very good moment at the Bravos. And I've been critical of Teddy Mellencamp on Beverly Hills. But what I've always said since this is that I know I know just from watching my mom, and I think a lot of you guys have experience with cancer as well, seeing that and watching somebody struggle through that and go through all of the different therapies or the radiation or the chemo and what that does to you. And Teddy was able to say last year that through immunotherapy, that at a certain point she was cancer free. And that's amazing. It's incredible. And I was just like, my God, because I know what a miracle that is, because she had stage 4 cancer. She had, part of it was brain cancer. Now, to be in remission, you have to have like 3 years of being cancer free. So just because you're cancer free for a time does not mean you're in remission. If you listen to the show, you know Rebecca and I, we are having a child in less than 3 months, and we're already talking about how do we cook for ourselves, have healthy meals, but have it be easy for us to do all of these things with no stress. Well, Factor makes it easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. So you can eat well without the shopping or the cooking. It's perfect. So inside these are quality functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, and no refined seed oils. Meals that fit your goal and your schedule. Healthier eating, calorie management, more protein. I mean, we are going to need this. I mean, this is perfect for us because we can go online, search from a menu, and choose what works for us each week. There's 100 rotating weekly meals. Options include high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, GLP-1 support, and ready-to-eat salads. Plus, the new Muscle Pro collection supports strength and recovery. It's always fresh, it's never frozen, and it's ready in about 2 minutes. No prep, no stress. So head to factormeals.com/SOBAD50OFF. Use code SOBAD50OFF. That's SOBAD50OFF to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's free breakfast for 1 year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. So make healthier eating easy with Factor. I know we're going to do it. And at stage 4, it kind of goes by years. And just knowing from my mom what I was worried about when that was said, I thought that was just amazing. But I do know, even with my mom, that it came back so viciously and ferociously. And I really, all joking aside, I just, if we can, just like with Remy, put out as much energy for Teddy Mellencamp as possible, because I know truly how insanely hard this is to beat. And I really do hope that Teddy Mellencamp is one of those people to be able to beat this. I really do. But also, since we're talking about Beverly Hills, I think I would be remiss not to mention somebody that had been on a bunch of seasons of this show and is very close friends with Kyle Richards and, of course, Tamra. I said you as well, Tamra. So hopefully we can put out some positivity for her as well. Man, I feel like a gigantic pussy. And I know you guys, I know sometimes I've gotten those messages like, oh, you've lost the plot. Don't be all pussy mushy mushy. Well, yeah, I will be pussy mushy mushy, okay? Okay, this is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 15, Episode 5. This episode is entitled Not Feeling the Healing. And the clips that they show us of the previous episodes was that Sutton was doing this Sedona. I'm going to take everybody to Sedona, I say. Now, for those of you new to the show, I feel like I've seen some comments. I just want to remind people, I know I don't sound like these people. Sutton is not an imitation of an old black man. It is Foghorn Leghorn. I want to throw that out there as well. And just try to enjoy it. That's it. So as Sutton took all these ladies to a Sedona trip, Rachel Zoe, a fashion stylist, sent her luggage by FedEx and it didn't get there. So Rachel Zoe is stuck in the same outfit. That's the kind of storylines we're dealing with here. Bose is there and she's giving herself IVF injections while she's on the Sedona trip, but don't worry, she brought her assistant as well. And multiple women have brought multiple teams of their glam squad. Glam squads need to be banned from cast trips. So then we have Amanda Francis, who is the newer cast member. And at the dinner last week, she was saying that she has a bunch of crystals because crystals were laid out on tables. She has $10,000 crystals, the whole bit. And Bose was like, well, Rachel and Amanda, they're new. And Amanda's like, I'm new. She's been here, but I'm new. I'm new. And then we, of course, had the storyline of Dorit saying that PK is interfering with her kid's trip to Florida to stay with Dorit's grandparents, right? And then the other storyline that was dealt with that we're going to deal with in this episode is that Sutton's assistant, Avi, not Santos, her horse, but Avi, was let go by Sutton under mysterious circumstances. And that's where we open up. We did get taglines this week, and the one that keeps sticking out to me is Rachel Zoe's of like, I die for fashion, but I'm living for me. I die for fashion, but I'm living for me. Rachel Zoe is one of those. It's when somebody's had a reality show in the past, they already have the shorthand for reality TV. So Rachel Zoe has been like a perfect fit for a first season. She feels like somebody that's been on this show for 3 seasons already. It's like a perfect fit. I mean, like at this point, I'm liking Rachel Zoe more than any other person on this cast. So we open up and we see all of their rooms at this beautiful hotel room. It's the morning. Jennifer Tilly is already eating donuts along with Lay's potato chips, which is it's very relatable for me as a larger scaled man. You have Amanda Francis in her room, and she's sitting like a girl boss, just cross-legged, doing a Zoom meeting, just being girl, just bossing it. She's girl bossing it so close to the vortex. And then in Bose's room, Bose's assistant comes in with breakfast, and Bose is like, I didn't ask for that yet. I will have it in a minute. I didn't ask for that yet. Now, we cut to Sutton Brown is her maiden name, and Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer Tilly, God bless her. I mean, she is already drinking red wine, and it's in the morning, and she's in these turquoise cowboy. It is like a turquoise factory just threw up all over Jennifer Tilly. At the end of it, the turquoise factory threw up all over Kyle Richards as well. But she's already in her cowboy boots drinking red wine. And she's like, what could a vortex be? What can I expect from a vortex? I'm Jennifer Tilly. I was once nominated for an Oscar. And Son's like, a vortex is a center of energy we have in an earth, I say. And Sedona, I say, has an energy hub. It's a vortex. Amanda comes down and she says she has sunscreen in her Chanel backpack, you guys. So if anybody needs sunscreen, it's in Amanda's Chanel backpack. Drink every time Amanda Francis says something like Louis Vuitton, Chanel. She's never going to say like Gap or Old Navy. It's going to be one of those. Erica Jane is in Patagonia. She went to the mall. She was like, I'm going to wear Patagonia. It's cheaper than Chanel. Rachel says she can't go hiking because she doesn't have the shoes. But then she also said the last time she played tennis, she was in Louboutin wedges. And that's iconic. But at the same time, I want to see it. Really? Were you in Louboutin wedges? Can we have pictures of that? Can we see the red bottoms? I kind of do believe that she was in Louboutin wedges. Sutton keeps calling the vortex the vertex. Like, oh, we're gonna go see that vertex. Get me close to the vortex. I'll say, I want to get some energy from the vortex. So the ladies split up, and certain ladies are in the pink Jeep going to the vortex. Jennifer Tilly brought her crystals with her to charge them. And listen, I'm still, even though I'm old, a novice with crystals. I thought you were only able to charge crystals in the full moonlight. I didn't know you could charge crystals during the daytime, but maybe there's different rules when you're close to the vertex. I'm not sure how it works. And then we cut away from that really quickly to Dorit saying, congrats, because Rachel Zoe finally got her luggage. We cut away from Jennifer Tilly saying her crystals got charged to Dorit saying congrats. I'm literally saying it was a cutaway for 10 seconds. We cut back to the pink Jeeps, and Jennifer Tilly is just making noises and screaming in the pink Jeeps, like, oh, she's just making noise. God bless. It almost felt like Jennifer Tilly realized, like, Jennifer Tilly's like, oh my God, I've got to carry this show on my back. Jennifer Tilly is the only one trying in most of these scenes. Now, Bose, Dorit, and Rachel Zoe, they go into Jerome, the town, to do some shopping, right? And Rachel says, well, Kathy needed a beat. She's like my mom. She stays up to an ungodly hour. Like 4 a.m., I heard Kathy walking around, and she just needs to sit with her fan and take a rest. And they cut to Kathy Hilton in bed on her phone. Yeah, God bless her. She's another one. Kathy Hilton, if you're doing such minimal scene work, but you're doing it as well as Kathy Hilton, you deserve to lay in bed and sit on the phone. She's doing more from her phone in bed than most of these ladies are doing walking around. We cut to the ladies, shopping ladies. They're getting out of the car and they go into this first store, and Rachel's like, oh my God, this is exactly what I wanted. It's a bunch of kaleidoscopes and knickknacks. Oh my God. And then we have like all of these lady like pose. They're all just picking up kaleidoscopes. I'm like, how long are we going to do it? We're just going to pick up kaleidoscopes? And there's all of this like spiritual drum music in the background. They're like, ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I don't give a shit about kaleidoscopes. And Rachel's like, everything in here is art. Oh my God, Dorit, do you like Wonder Woman? And Dorit's like, I love Wonder Woman. And Rachel's like, me too. I wore gold-spangled bracelets because of Wonder Woman, and I've never taken them off. She was my fave. Dorit, by the way, I like that they do keep a running tally of what all the ladies spend in these stores. And Dorit spent $482 in the store. And Dorit is that cast member. I always pick out one cast member of each franchise that I'm extremely worried about their finances. Like, it keeps me up at night. It gave me a stomach. Like, the first episode of this season, when Dorit went over to Bose's house and gave her like a $2,000 scarf, I was like, that's like, I'm no Dave Ramsey, but that doesn't feel like it's money well spent. And then Dorit drops $482 in this kaleidoscope store. We don't need that. Like, come on, man. Little Jagaloo needs karate lessons. My God. Bose is like, enough of this kaleidoscope store. Let's go get some wine. We cut back to the pink Jeep with the other ladies, and Erica and Kyle are there too. And I will say, in this show's defense, the scenery looks beautiful. Like, truly, it's majestic. It's majestic. Would I rather see a Western film there? Of course I would. And then they have these guides taking them around. He's like, hey, in the 60s and 70s, we had psychics and gurus used to come here. That's what happened here at the Vertex. And Jennifer Tilly's like, I feel really good energy. I feel really good energy here. She's just nonstop talking. And she's like talking about bees and energy and what cowboys wear. And Amanda is like, is she always this talkative? And Erica Jane is like, yeah, that's why she's an Oscar-nominated actress. And Erica, in a talking head, she's like, not to be rude, I know Amanda's a millennial, but does she even know who Jennifer Tilly is? Oh my God. Does anybody know who the fuck you are? Give it, like, yeah, millennials, like, yeah, listen, I don't expect them to know Jennifer Tilly, even though Jennifer Tilly's a legend. But also, be more concerned if they know you or not. My God. We cut back to Kathy. Kathy is still laying in bed, and she's now watching a video that Jennifer Tilly and Kyle sent her, screaming. Like, Jennifer Tilly's just screaming with her Lay's potato chips, and Kathy's like, oh, this tickles the funny bone. We cut back to Jennifer Tilly, and they're hiking up the side of this mountain thing. And my God, Jennifer Tilly's mic pack, she's like, she's breathing for dear life in her turquoise cowboy boots. She's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And she finally gets to the top. I was like, we can't lose Jennifer Tilly right now. And it's windy up there, you guys. It was so windy that I was hoping we would lose at least one of the housewives, but they all stayed pretty solid in the firmament. And Erica's like,
I'd rather be eating a bunch of mushrooms and just feel something. It's the same shit.
And then she does the can of Coke and she sips it through a straw. Like,
I bet they're going to eat this shit up. This is iconic talking head behavior.
Once again, I don't believe Erica Jane does a bunch of mushrooms. I don't believe Erica Jane has a bunch of sex. I think it is all smoke and mirrors. That is just my opinion. So Jennifer Tilly is up there. She is just splayed out on the rocks. She's like, ugh. Amanda Francis is doing yoga positions, and then the rest of the ladies, they're all meditating. Now, Jennifer Tilly, like I said, she brought her crystals up to the top of the mountain to charge, and she's talking to her crystals. She's like, do you want your own space? Okay, crystals. And do you want a little sip of water, crystals? And she starts pouring water on the crystals. This is better than a puppet show. And then Erica and Kyle are on the side of a mountain talking, and Kyle's like, Dorit got upset. Dorit got upset at me, and she was saying, fuck PK. And, I really get the sense, she's angry at the situation and not me. But you know what I did, Erica? I just took a breath and I said, I support you. Which is just so weird to hear her explain this to Erica, because you realize how insincere Kyle is with this. And Erica's just like,
yeah, you just gotta leave the whole PK thing alone.
And Kyle's like, she talks about it all the time. She talks about it right now. And we cut to Dorit with the other ladies, and Dorit's like, fuck Kyle. Dorit is bitching about Kyle in this same situation of I tried to talk to her about PK. She started sticking up for PK, and that's crazy. And she's like, I'm hypersensitive to it because I've just heard it so much. Now that the holidays are over, you might be feeling like you've got a big spending hangover. The drinks, the holiday food, the gifts, it all adds up. So luckily, Mint Mobile is here to help you cut back on overspending on wireless this January with 50% off unlimited premium wireless. Now, I just hooked my dad up to this over the holidays, and we were even able to switch his old number over so easily. So Mint Mobile's end of the year sale is still going on, but only until the end of the month. Cut out big wireless's bloated plans and unnecessary monthly charges with 50% off 3, 6, or 12 months of unlimited. Now, all plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. So, this January, quit overspending on wireless with 50% off unlimited premium wireless. Plans start at $15 a month at mintmobile.com/SoBad. That's mintmobile.com/SoBad. Limited time offer, upfront payments of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 a month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra, initial plan term only, 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy, capable device required, availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com. And Bose is like, yeah, you don't need that kind of wishy-washy. And Rachel Zoe is like, well, the expectation in these situations, it's where your girls are always going to have your back no matter what, right or wrong. And then we cut back to Kyle and Erica, and Kyle's like, I talked to Mo. Kyle's looking for any chance to talk to Mo. So I figured I'd talk to Mo about this. And Mo said PK is a great dad, and he's saying the complete opposite. I'm sorry, Love Bean. Dorit is full of shit. PK, amazing dad. Sure, he's never literally on this side of the continent, but really a very solid dad. Really top-notch stuff. Anywho, I've got to go make out with the girl on the side of a road. Bye. But we actually cut to Mo on FaceTime with Kyle in a flashback. And he's like, well, PK is telling me that she is blocking his ability to see his kids, and I got to say, I see that. How the fuck could you see that if PK is telling you that? That just means I heard that. You didn't see that with your own eyes. I'm sorry. I'm a little skeptical here. And Erica's like,
Kyle, you can't be dragged into this.
yeah,
You're so busy collecting kemosabe hats. You don't have time for this.
Erica in a talking head is like,
I would just block it out. You can't be all things to all people. Less said, best said. Yeah.
which really just shows you the kind of friend that Erica is. Like, like you can't be dragged into this. You can't be all things to all people. And the less said, best said. Wow. Top notch friend work right there, Erica. Like, Erica's like,
I'm fucking a man named Shrek right now. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for Kyle's problems with Dorit's.
and Kyle's like, yeah, it's going to be like he said, she said, right? It just feels like now Erica Jane has turned into just a yes man for Kyle. And I find that such weird behavior in a sense. It just feels like that is Erica's purpose thus far this season. We cut back over to Bose, and Bose is like, Dorit, your relationship is damaged, like from a trust standpoint. And she is proving, she has to prove that she is supportive of you. And Dorit's like, actions and words don't tell me that you support me entirely because I don't believe it at this point. So Dorit is just highly skeptical of Kyle. And Dorit's been highly skeptical of Kyle for like a couple of seasons now. And I don't believe in the scenes that we've seen that, yeah, it's getting any better. I couldn't believe last week when Kyle was legitimately like, I don't know, PK seems all right. Like right in front of Dorit. Like, Kyle can't even lie to Dorit in that sense. Like, just say that you like PK more than Dorit at this point. But it's not Real Housewives of PK. It's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, even though Kyle doesn't live in Beverly Hills. I just want to say it every week. Anyways, Rachel's like, these are tests every day, and they're tests every day in friendships. And there really is. So we're in a new scene, and everyone is getting ready for their dinner. It has been a long day in Sedona chasing the vertexes. Jennifer Tilly brought glam with her. Like, I feel at this point we've brought way too many glam people. Like, and also where are the glam people staying? Because, well, I guess it's a hotel, but it didn't look like a big hotel. But this is the kind of shit I worry about. I'm like, who's taking care of the glam people? Anyways, the girls are going to cook tonight, allegedly. And Jennifer's like, I can only cook margaritas. And Kathy Hilton's down in the kitchen. She's the only one cooking thus far. And she's like, I'm cooking my pasta primavera. Oh my God. Truly, that's a bucket list thing for me. Just having Kathy Hilton's pasta primavera. Like if I ever go to Kathy's house, I would like the caviar with the baked potato bit that she does. I would like a martini, and then I'd be like, Kathy, may I have some of your pasta primavera? Because I bet she's one of those people that like, I'll whip it up right now, even though it's 3 a.m. Erica in a talking head's like,
Sutton has decided we're making dinner ourselves. What happened, Sutton? Are we on a budget?
Erica, you're poor. I mean, like, I'm poor too, but you're poor. Just say thank you for the free food no matter what time you eat. I know that's harsh, but at this point, Erica, you giving shade is embarrassing for you. I did bring a snack pack with you. Bring one of those pudding cups or something, right? Which I think this says a lot about me. I've said this to you guys before. When I was in elementary school, I still don't, and I wish my mom was still around so I could ask her, even though I believe I've asked her, I just think I've blocked out what she said, was that she used to send me to school. You'd have your sack lunch. And I grew up in a time where you actually had like a brown paper sack, and I'd have a can of Vienna sausage wieners. Vienna sausage, I think most people don't even know what Vienna sausage wieners. They're in a can, and you'd pop the can, and they're these little wieners in like ectoplasm sauce. It'd be like goopy, like, I don't know even what is it called? Like just goopy Vienna sausage. It's like coagulate. It was so gross, you guys. And Vienna sausages, they're tasty. I'm not going to lie, but it's not the kind of food that I would imagine you send a 5th grader to elementary school with, because I think other kids are going to have questions. And they did. I really don't think, and I was already in kind of an awkward point of my life, and I just don't think popping a can of Vienna sausages did me any good. Anywho, Erica could have brought Vienna sausages. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, Bo's up in her room. She FaceTimes her dude. And she says she had a long day and that she's not feeling too well. Like this is, she's really going through it with the IVF shots and hanging out with other women. And at this point, she's talking to her dude and she has count them two, not her assistant and two glam people working on her. And this is just for an 11 o'clock dinner where Kathy's making pasta primavera. What? We cut to Amanda Francis telling Kyle, she was like, Kyle, my friend was out the other night and met a guy and the guy talked about Sutton and she's kind of like inferring that it was Avi, Sutton's assistant. And she's like, this guy said to my friend, tell Amanda to call me and I'll spill all the real tea on Sutton. First off, we met Avi like minimally. He was like, he was in a lot of episodes, but he'd have little funny scenes with Sutton and they'd bicker back and forth, but he never struck me as an asshole. Also, I do want to point out that Sutton made Avi sign an NDA. So I also know that these Beverly Hills women or people in reality shows at Housewives level, they don't fuck around. NDAs mean something. And so this, I think the show didn't present it as serious, but that stuff is serious. I know people that fuck around with NDAs in the sense that they use them and they're serious about them. They're not just like doing it for shits and giggles. They're not like Randall Emmett. They really mean these NDAs. So part of me, I don't think Amanda's making this up, but part of me doesn't believe this is Avi. But Kyle in a talking head's like, it's a mystery between Sutton and Avi. I don't know what happened, but Amanda is making me very curious, just like I was very curious with women. No, that's not funny. But Kyle says she's very curious, but also Kyle's just curious because she's like, one less storyline for me to have to like be a part of my life. And Amanda's like, should I say something to Sutton? Should I? She should probably know, right? And Kyle's like, kind of like, yeah, you should tell Sutton. Kyle's like, you do this, Amanda. You should do this. We cut back to the kitchen and Rachel Zoe's down there. And Rachel's like, should we be concerned at all that it's late and no one is cooking? And I guess they went grocery shopping after visiting the Vertex. And we flash back to that where we see footage of Erica splayed out in Jennifer Tilly's cart. So they're just like, some Ralphs in Sedona is being terrorized by Erica Jane and Jennifer Tilly. Dorit comes down and she was like, I was just on my veranda. Hoo-hoo. Amanda Francis comes down. Kyle comes down and points out that it's 11 p.m. almost. That is super late for dinner. Like, I like night eating, but it's usually when I wake up in the middle of the night, I stress eat. But like 11 p.m. for just like a sit down dinner, that feels very late. This is like, it's like Paris or something. Sutton and Bose, those are the two ladies that aren't down yet. And Erica comes down. It's like,
where's the hostess of this fucking place?
Amanda in a talking head's like, where is Sutton? She said she would make the chicken tonight. She would make the protein. And Amanda's like, if there was an option to not come, I would have loved to have stayed behind and just slept. Amanda, hey, I'm sorry this show is such a burden on you. Just go girl boss so close to the sun. You're okay. I also, by the way, did anybody see that scene? I didn't realize that Amanda Francis was on an episode of Selling Sunset and she didn't come off great. And I saw that episode, but I didn't put two and two together until I saw a clip of it a couple weeks ago. And so it's like, Amanda, I love that you're not kissing everybody's ass, but at the same time, it does make you appreciate sometimes when people kiss a little bit of ass. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, well, Amanda, you should be appreciative of the forum. This is, even though I think it's a boring season, it's still it's a big show for you to be a part of. So, take that kind of shit talk and just, get out of here. Take that shit to Real Housewives of Orange County, right? In a talking head, Amanda Francis says, punctuality is not super important to me. I'm a late person, but there's a limit when, we're waiting hours to eat dinner. Oh, God. And Kyle's like, what are we, at a rave? I don't even know what that means. I haven't been to a rave in a decade plus, but like did used to eat at raves at like 1 a.m. Anyways, Kyle's like, are we at a rave? And Sutton in the talking head was like, I needed a refresher. I needed a refresher to enjoy the evening, but anyways, who cares? We're on vacation, I say. Jennifer Tilly is the only smart one in this group. She's popped open a tug of guacamole. She's like, I'm going to eat guacamole. I've recharged my crystals in this guacamole. Sutton finally comes down. And she looks beautiful. I don't know why all these ladies dressed up for dinner at home. But then Sutton's like, I want to pound the chicken. I want to pound these chicken with a mallet. Pound, 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 pound. It's Jennifer Tilly. Like, I love Sutton operating a grill outside. And Jennifer Tilly's like, I won't get near the grill because I have to act with my face. Like, were we really that scared that the grill was going to blow up? That was like, let Sutton's face get the brunt of the backdraft damage and protect Jennifer Tilly's face so she can do Bride of Chucky like 5? But Jennifer Tilly does say something in a talking head that she was like, you should have brought a personal chef for this trip so we don't cook our own food. A lot of us don't even eat. But that is weird though. Like, why do you get a private jet, a very fancy hotel, and then leave out this part of it? It seems suspicious in a weird way. Like, was this the plan all along? And if you go this far, why not make sure there's like, bring some factor meals or something. Use code SOBAD50 at checkout. Kyle, by the way, shows off that she has Chanel Birkenstocks. And then Amanda Francis has to brag about she's like, oh, I have a bunch of name brand shit too. Amanda says at this moment, they're outside sitting around by the grill. And Amanda's like, okay, Sutton, I talked to Kyle and you had an assistant named Addie, Augie, Abby, Avi. Okay. Well, Avi, my friend meets this guy, Avi, and he told my friend, said, to have him call me. And this guy said that he would give me the dirt on Sutton. And we cut to like Kyle looks very excited that Amanda's doing this. And Amanda says, well, don't worry. I didn't call him to get the dirt. And then he said, tell Amanda to hire me as your assistant. And that will really piss off Sutton. And Sutton, you can tell, is like a little thrown, but she's trying not to act thrown. And she's like, well, you should hire him. That's not going to piss me off at all. And Amanda Francis is like, I'm fully staffed. I am fully staffed right now. I don't need him. Gentili in a talking head says, when I first heard Avi and Sutton parted ways, I thought it was temporary. And I talked to Avi and he thought it was temporary as well. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, what did happen? Like, I was like, remember that, and this is just where my mind went because I'm filthy. Remember when Sutton said that she made out with one of her drivers a couple seasons ago, which I thought was so bizarre. It's like, yeah, I played tonsil hockey with my driver. Is there a way like Avi was dry? Like, I know Avi was gay, but at the same time, like, I don't know, like what happened? What could have potentially happened? But anyways, Amanda says like, well, if an employee talked Sutton, I would want to know. And Sutton's like, well, that bridge has been burned. It doesn't really affect me none. And Amanda in a talking head says, it was the right thing to do. And that's all I can do. Sutton just keeps going, I don't care nothing. I don't care nothing about nothing, no Avi. Now, Amanda tells all the girls, she's like telling all the girls about this Avi thing. And Bose is like, why would Avi say that? And Sutton's like, I don't believe he would. I don't like talking about this. I'm uncomfortable. Avi and I had a friendship, but it was a professional relationship. Jennifer Tilly goes, they were an odd couple. Then we move to the dinner table, finally. It's got to be like 1 a.m. And Kathy's like, I feel like I've been here a month. They've been here like a day and a half, maybe a day. Amanda says, well, now I have to have my friends give me more context about this situation with Avi. No shit. If somebody told me this and you realized you were going to use it as a storyline, wouldn't you make sure you had every detail down pat if you were going to come into a scene on your first season trying to bring up something involving a cast member that's been on multi-seasons. For somebody that's girl bossing, I just feel like you came in with that. Like that's not even coming in with a loaded gun. That's coming in with like just a flare gun, Amanda. Come on. Sutton and the talking head's like, well, that's not the way to make friends with me. I'll say, you can't do that, Amanda. Dorit tells Sutton that it's in life. She goes, in life, Sutton, it's important to grow. I love when Dorit's giving life advice to people. And Sutton's like, well, Dorit, I had to shift. I was going in a direction I didn't like. And then we have a flashback to many of Sutton's explosions from last season of like, you're mad at your own life, or, pick on somebody with a pocketbook that that has food stamps. Anyways, Sutton keeps talking to Dorit, like confiding in Dorit, and just, that's a big thing because Dorit and Sutton famously don't get along. And Sutton tells Dorit, it was so nasty that I called my mom and I talked to my mom and I said, I need to talk to you as a patient. I need to talk to you, which is so dark when you think about it. Because you remember, first off, Dorit's mom is a therapist, but also, I need to talk to you, but not as a mother-daughter, but as, well, I'm one of your patients. Like, sometimes just talk to your mom. In a talking head, Sutton says, the biggest thing my mom said was that I had anger from my failed marriage, and I was pushing that anger onto other people. Now, that could be but her and her husband have been divorced for a very long time. Anyways, during the scene, it was like, Rome wasn't built in a day, Sutton. Beep, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop, boop. First, Sutton goes, first you have to crash and rebuild it. I did it, and I'm better for it. So Sutton's already saying she crashed and she rebuilt it. Sutton in the talking head says, I used to be so focused on what people were saying about me, and I learned to put those thoughts aside and be a good friend and a good person to myself. And I think that's actually really great, right? Because I think a lot of us can fall into that. I know I do, where I get so focused on what other people say about me. And it's so hard to fight those thoughts. It's so hard to combat that, just that running monologue in your head. That, it's your voice, but at the same time, you're like, shut the fuck up. And I like Sutton acknowledging that, but I don't think that Sutton is on the other side yet, even though I think Sutton thinks she might be on the other side. Dorit in a talking head is like, the wall is coming down between me and Sutton, and it feels like a genuine, really deep convo. I wonder if there was any cocaine involved. Anyways, they finally are eating, and Erica's like,
this is nice, yeah.
And Kathy's like, it needed pine nuts. I wish it had some pine nuts. And then somebody goes, yeah, a dab. And Kathy goes, a dabba-dabba-doo. A dabba. I thought you were Kyle. Pine nuts. A dabba-dabba-doo. We're in a new scene the next day. It's the next day. Kathy is phoning Rachel Zoe from her bed. It goes to voicemail. And then Kyle visits Bose in her room, but Bose, once again, feels terrible. Amanda Francis comes down to the kitchen, and Erica's there in kind of like Princess Leia space buns on her hair. And Amanda Francis is like, I like your space buns, Erica. And Erica's like,
thanks, I'm having a margarita. A morning margarita.
Which, at this point, I'm sometimes so bored with this season that I'm like, yeah, man, I miss the days when Erica would just get lit. Remember that a couple seasons ago, that boat trip when she I think pissed on one of the boat cushions, or even the Merce in the Purse episode. Drink it up, Erica. Marg it up, dude. I don't care if it's 9 a.m. Amanda said, so she says she's having margaritas, and Amanda Francis goes, vibe your life up. Yeah. Vibe your life up. Vibe it up. Vibe it. If somebody fucking told me to vibe my life up, I probably wouldn't do anything, but I would be thinking really angry thoughts. Anyways, Amanda Francis starts going on to Erica of oh my God, we finished our new website. It's done. And I'm so excited. Yeah, you're not going to impress Erica with work. Erica's like,
what? What's that? A job?
Amanda says that she thinks Sutton is mad at her because she was in the kitchen earlier this morning before the Erica scene, and Sutton said, hey, Missy, I heard you was complaining I was late last night. Because remember, Amanda Francis was bitching about it's very late. And in a flashback, Sutton, we see this scene, was like, "Hey, Missy, I heard you were complaining we were late. Well, we're here in the vertex. It's a moment. I'm on vacation, I say. So she really did get a little snappy with Amanda. And usually with any new person, it's not Amanda's fault, but usually in a group of people, like established people, the new person does get kicked easier. And people feel freer to talk down to newer people in any scenario. In a talking head, Sutton's like, little miss, she goes, little miss, thank you, Amanda complained I was late. Jennifer Tilly told me this morning. Yeah, come on, Amanda. Amanda says to the ladies that it hurt her soul a little. It hurt her soul a little that Sutton said this. And Erica goes,
It'll hurt less and less as the days go by.
That could be the darkest line of the entire episode, is that Amanda says it hurt her soul a little, and Erica just says it'll hurt less and less as the days go by. Think about that. That's Erica's advice to somebody. Like, we're not going to do anything about it today, but just you'll numb out to it eventually. Any feeling that Erica's ever felt is just completely numbed out. She's like dark. It's like a black soul at this point. Rachel Zoe comes down and, says, "Oh, you're drinking a margarita, Erica. I didn't sleep well last night. I got 3 hours of sleep." And Rachel Zoe says, like, "My dream vacation is to be on a beach with like white wine on ice." And I was like, yeah, girl, I used to love like a white wine spritzer, but I did white wine spritzers different. It would be a lot of wine, and then I would put some Diet 7-Up with some ice. Oh my God. It's like crack, you guys. I've never had crack, but like it was like really good. Amanda says that on her Apple Watch, she got a 61 sleep score last night, but the day before she got a 69. All right, but 61. So she's not happy with her sleep score. And Rachel says that she's never really tracked her sleep. And she's just like, I'm throwing it out to the universe. My really good friend's a life coach. And I don't know, Rachel's all of a sudden talks about a life coach teaching her how to manifest like the next man in her life. And Rachel Zoe's like, I have like 30 things like that I want in my next man. And Amanda goes, I've done that. I've done that my whole life. And I did that. And I scored that with my husband, Eddie. I made my first manifestation man list at 13. And I wrote, I want an Abercrombie model. And guess what? Eddie said he used to stand in front of the store with his with his cut off jeans. And they show a picture and I was so confused. I don't think he actually modeled for Abercrombie. I think her husband just used to stand in front of Abercrombie stores with like cut off jeans. Like, did you, like, I was like, oh, that doesn't look like an ad. It just looks like he's standing with cut off jeans somewhere. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, it's close enough when you're manifesting. And Amanda says, he is everything that I've ever manifested except for one thing. But she didn't tell us what the one thing was. He didn't tell, yeah, he doesn't have male parts. And, but she goes, but then she's talking about all this shit about her dude, how perfect he is. And then she says to Erica, I make more in a month than he does in a year. Like, why would you ever offer that information up to anyone? If you're in a partnership, why would you ever? Oh my God, he's got super small testicles. Yeah. Erica in a talking head goes,
I wish I was the breadwinner. Maybe my life would have ended up differently. If I was in control of things, maybe it wouldn't have been so bad.
Oh man, it is getting dark. I was like, Jesus, Erica, have another margarita. Hoo-wee, that was rough. I wish I was the breadwinner. Yeah, go to law school. I don't know, man. Rachel FaceTimes her son, her son that's like a star. Her son's like in the pool, like, I love you, mommy. We cut to another shopping day with the ladies, and Jennifer's like, shopping is like my Xanax. But also Xanax is my Xanax. Amanda on the car ride over, she's on the phone in the car. She's like one of those people on speakerphone, and she's taking like phone call after phone call, and it's like one of those edits where it's like keeps going on and on and on. And like Rachel Zoe's putting on makeup next to her, and then Erica Jane is looking out the window next to her. Like, have some self-awareness. Like, it is so weird. Nobody gives a flip. And this is where I was like, I totally agree with Erica Jane on this. In a talking head, Erica's like,
don't stunt in front of us. Fuck, we all have calls. We're just trying to relax out here. Save that for your room. We don't care. I'm Erica Jane.
But I love that Erica Jane is like, work truly doesn't impress me. Like, trust me. Like, it does not impress me. We cut to these like stores, like craft stores or whatever. And Jennifer's like, let's go buy some stuff. Turquoise jewelry. Yeah. And then Kyle says like, it's going to impress us. Kyle's like, since I was a little girl, I've always loved cowboy hats and Native American jewelry, hats and belts. I obsess about this stuff. You know, who could say that they bought a suede cowboy hat at a gas station? I can. Like, was anybody going, oh shit, she has the gift? Like cool. Like, I bought like a bumper sticker at a gas station when I was a kid that I like the radio, like the Kansas radio station ZZ99. I didn't fucking like, guess who bought a bumper sticker when he was a kid? This guy. Anyways, Rachel Zoe at this store, she spends $2,130. Amanda's outside, like, talking shit about the Sedona shopping scene. I'm like, don't talk shit, Amanda. Shut up. Jennifer Tilly spends $3,400. She's like, put it on my Amex. Dorit spends $1,311. Jesus, take the wheel. Are you kidding me? What? Come on. Think of the kids. Kyle, like once Kyle has like this huge, I mean, it just turquoise everywhere around. I don't even think it's a statement necklace. It's like, it has a zip code. And Erica's like,
it's a must. You need to get it on, Kyle. Yeah.
So Kyle now is, no, Erica is literally Kyle's yes man, and that includes shopping. But I think Erica's just encouraging Kyle to shop because she's hoping that Kyle will go broke one day. And then everybody in the store is like, buy it. Buy it, buy it. Amanda is at some like coffee shop next door, and Amanda's like, is your matcha ceremonial grade? I've heard of matcha. And I've heard of it grade. I used to get those in school, but I've never heard of ceremonial grade. And then she goes, half almond, half oat milk. And the lady's like, we don't have almond. And she's like, I'm starting over. And like, she's even annoying with her drink orders. Like, I always get shocked when people are this successful and then you find out they're this annoying. And I sometimes think just like how fucking annoying Jeff Bezos must be, or like Elon Musk. I mean, we already kind of know about Elon, but Jeff Bezos, like if Amanda's like this and she's super successful, like, is it even worth it? We cut to, it's now sunset as they're driving back. And Amanda says, Bose is like filming something with her phone out the window. And Amanda's like, Bose, if you go widescreen, it'll make it more cinematic. And Bose is like, I'm good. I'll just film it the way I'm filming it right now. They're going to eat their dinner at the Mesa Grill, which is at the Sedona airport. But it's not like a bus. It's not like LAX or something. Just like a little airport in Sedona. But all these ladies are already bitching about it because it's the airport. And I'm just like, God, these ladies will complain about anything. They're going to complain that they had to cook the food. Now it's at a restaurant, but they're going to complain it's on at a fucking airport. Like, isn't the vortex supposed to make you like awesome or something? Anyways, there's just a bunch of Debbie Downers. Erica in a talking head, which, by the way, this talking head, she's in the same outfit, like that orange thing with the Joker hat on sideways, but she like lifts her hands and all of a sudden she has like these white talons, like a demon. Did you see that? And she's like,
oh, man, ever since Sutton became Sutton Brown, I wish he'd go back to Sutton Stracke. It was more glamorous.
Jennifer's the only one that comes in with a good attitude. She's like, look at this fabulous patio. Sutton in a talking head goes, well, the reason we're here, because it has a beautiful view of all the mountains and stuff like that. And also, people love eating at airports. And then the producer goes, who? And she's like, I don't know, flight attendants? Rachel Zoe has like barely a voice. It's all like froggy. And she goes, I don't do desert like life, like Coachella or Stagecoach. I lose my voice. Dorit, have you noticed this? Dorit orders her like vodka drink with, you know how she used to order it with like the carcass out, like 3 lemons, carcass out. And this, she doesn't say carcass out anymore. She's like, I'm going to take 3 lemons. I'm whispering my drink order, so it's not a thing. Like, she doesn't say carcass out anymore. And I'm like, wow, bullying works once again. And Kyle is sitting next to Amanda Francis, and Kyle thinks that Amanda's not doing well. She's like, are you okay, Amanda? I thought I saw a tear. And Amanda's like, no, I'm fine. Anyways, hey, and she goes, hey, Sutton. And she exhales. She goes, I felt like you were really mad at me this morning in the kitchen, and I was wondering maybe if last night was carrying over to today. And Sutton's like, well, you'll know when I'm mad. You'll know it. And Amanda goes, well, when you said, hey, Missy, that's like a strong statement. And Sutton's like, well, I wasn't mad. I was just agitated, I guess, last night. Because you said I was late to cook the chicken. Amanda goes, we were just confused. And Sutton's like, confused? It was very specific to me. Amanda goes, it was the main dish, the protein. The chicken was the main dish. And Sutton's like, well, okay, it just seems like really trite and very juvenile, I say, being on time. Come on. Amanda says, well, was it possibly the thing I said about your assistant? And Sutton's like, no. And then there's a pause. Erica in the talking head goes,
I don't want to hear about Avi. We're already at the airport. How much worse can it get?
Amanda says, well, when I mentioned Avi last night, it just felt like there was a different energy. And they all, by the way, at this moment, I looked around and they all looked like they were in that band Four Non Blondes. Like, I try, so I not, man, I try. I try. You know that song? There used to be this band in the 90s called Four Non Blondes with Linda Perry, who wrote a lot of songs for Pink, but she would have one of those Axl, like Slash from Guns N' Roses, like the cornpipe hat or whatever you called them, the stove pot. Anyways, Jennifer Tilly's in one of those big hats. And I was like, God, all these ladies look like they're in like an alternative band from the 90s right now. Sutton in the talking head's like, I don't think Amanda's stupid. No. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. She's using it to get my attention, Missy. And Amanda goes, Sutton, I don't know the facts. And Sutton's like, well, I'm not interested in learning the facts. And Rachel says, well, he should have done, we should know what Avi did, because if he did it to you, he's going to do it to the next person. And Sutton goes, I'm not talking about it again. Do not include me in conversations about it. Is that clear? Okay? And Rachel Zoe just goes, Crystal. And then there's like 10 reaction shots for some reason, like zoiks. We cut to commercial, our last one, and we come back, and Erica is like, when you say that, it feels like it's bigger than it really is. And Sutton says, well, the whole thing with Avi, it just doesn't sound like him at all. And Kathy goes, that's what I'm saying. And I feel like at this point, Kathy's been completely checked out of the conversation, and just felt like this moment, like she would have just, if they had even mentioned like, I'd love some chips and guacamole, Kathy would be like, that's what I'm saying. Like, she just throws in, that's what I'm saying. Sutton goes, well, she's tearing up at this point. She goes, well, I've already done this a million times. What do you want from me? It's just another one of those people in my life I've lost. I just need to focus on and Amanda Francis goes, the future. And Erica says, Sutton, look, everyone here is in a better place with you this year. Do not let this drag you into a bad place, right? It just comes across as gossipy. That's all. And Erica in a talking head says, this isn't friendly conversation that Amanda is doing. It's like,
I know something about you.
And then Erica Jen goes,
ew.
Erica, you are one of the biggest shit talkers on this show. Like, and that's the only reason you recognize, it's like game recognizes game. Like, you've done this yourself, so you recognize it. But for you to be distasteful, it's like being distasteful of the new kid on the block that sings the same songs you do. Anyways, Kyle's like, are you okay, Sutton? And Sutton's like, do I look okay? And then Jennifer Tilly tries to jump in, like Sutton's friend. Jennifer's like, and Sutton goes, just stop, Jennifer, just stop. And Kyle's like, I gotta go take a shit. And Jennifer's like, I'm gonna go with you. And then they leave, and Amanda looks at Sutton, Amanda Francis goes, do you cry often? And Sutton just goes, Amanda, Jennifer Tilly in a talking head says, when people are snapping at you, it eventually affects you. And we flash back to all the times in the past couple of episodes that Sutton has snapped at Jennifer Tilly. And you really, you don't think about that. She's that kind of friend that always seems to be there with a smile or a joke or being silly or whatnot. And Jennifer Tilly says something that is a little kind of deep, but at the same time, you're like, what? She goes, it's like water dropping on a stone. It's just water. I can deal with it. But then after a while, the water drills a hole into the stone. So I think Jennifer Tilly is the stone and Sutton is the water that's spilling all over Jennifer Tilly stone. And Jennifer Tilly stone is not insured. And so anyway, I thought it was deep. And then Jennifer is talking to Kyle by the shitter. And Jennifer's like, I don't like to be snapped at for no reason. I just give her a pass. Everyone knows Sutton is fragile. But she then says, she goes, but that's also one of the reasons Garcelle left, because it's always about Sutton and no one else. Like, Jennifer Tilly may have a silly voice and be silly, but she knows what's up. I really like Jennifer Tilly. Kyle in a talking head goes, I was so shocked to hear Jennifer talk about this. I thought that was one of her best friends. Kyle, shut the F up. Kyle? Even best friends, have moments of clarity. Best friends, you wouldn't know because you pretend to be one to Dorit and you can't do it. But best friends will let you get your yayas out, let you act up. But at the same time, they know exactly what's going on with you. And sometimes it is one of the greatest kindness for friends to let you do that, but don't take their kindness as weakness. They know exactly what's going on. And so for Jennifer Tilly to open up to you and then immediately go, I was shocked, then why are you asking her about any of this? You don't care then. You're just collecting information for a future storyline, which next week it looks like Kyle uses this against her. Anyways, Jennifer Tilly tells Kyle, it's not always about you, Sutton. Dorit at the table tells Sutton that no one expects you to be perfect, Sutton. I know you're working on yourself. We've got your back. I want you to know I'm on your side. I want you to know that. Dorit tells Sutton that. So I will say, even though I thought this episode was pretty boring, there was this moment of Dorit and Sutton trying to connect and that it weirdly is working. I just don't know if it's too late for us to care. Erica says,
don't turn that down, Sutton. Just say thank you.
And Sutton's like, thank you. I'll say thank you. And Rachel Zoe goes, thank you, Sutton. This trip has been so much fun. And Erica's like,
as fun as I was drunk in Spain, musses in the past.
Sutton in the talking head says, I'm surprised how easily I connected with some of these ladies. I thought it would be hard. And she goes, I feel like I'm part of the group and I've never felt that way before. And she goes, I'm just happy. And it's this weirdly sweet moment in a talking head. And then everybody's like, let's get the hell back to L.A. And then it's next time on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And we have Rachel doing a dinner party at her house. And then the people that are working for Rachel says the power is out on her block, even though they're able to charge the cameras that they're filming. Anyways, and then Bose is doing the egg retrieval. And then Kyle tells Sutton about what Jennifer said about Garcelle in Sedona. Kyle, man, what a rat, dude. Gross. And then Amanda at the dinner is like, I'm holding on by a thread. I just want to go be with my husband, Eddie. And then Amanda's walking out the door and she's facing the ladies and Dorit wipes away a tear from Amanda's face. And Amanda goes, don't touch me right now, please. And Dorit's like, okay. Ooh. That's it, folks. Wow, that was actually pretty fun, right? We got it done in a respectable amount of time. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had some laughs. Come back. We're doing Southern Charm and the Traders this weekend. I'll see you over on the Patreon as well. And that's it, you guys. I really appreciate you being here today. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.